Right, we're here, Sydney International Boat Show with Michaela, Jamie, Pantaenius Australia. We're going to talk everything insurance and how you're helping out owners and the industry. Let's do this.
In the last couple of years, we've seen certainly post the middle of COVID, a very large increase again in the number of Australians purchasing boats overseas, and that's right across all bands. You know, traditionally, you know, the long-term cruises or the distance cruises have been in yachts, but we're also seeing a larger group of large powerboat super yacht purchases by Australians and Kiwis and in Europe and in the US. Out of the people that purchase in Europe, you know, there's a group that leave the boat in Europe for a season or two. There's another group that jump on the boats and if they're yachties, they buy catamarans, of course. You know, they're coming back to Australia slowly via the Atlantic, the Caribbean, Panama Canal and the Pacific. So we've seen a steady increase in that group. I mean, at the moment, to give you a bit of an indication, we've got about 470 customers that are insured with the Pantaenius Group worldwide, currently in the Pacific Ocean. And most of that group have come down through the Panama Canal. And that's a subset of the total number of boats that have cleared Panama, which amount to about 580. So as a group, Pantaenius has got the lion's share of that business. You know, add to that in the Pacific at the moment, we've probably got 220, 250 Australian customers out of New Zealand or Australia that have headed off in the last couple of months into the Pacific, you know, traditionally into Tonga, Vanuatu, Fiji. Some of them are going further east, you know, to the Society Islands, to Tahiti. And of course, Tahiti's got, you know, upwards of 800 islands and 5 different island groups. You know, we think about Tahiti being Papeete and Bora Bora, but, you know, they're just 2 of hundreds of different islands and destinations. So places like that absorb large numbers of boats pretty quickly. You don't see them, but they're there. In terms of supporting those customers, we do a couple of trips into the Pacific now every year, helping our Australian-based Pantaenius customers, and also helping the customers that are with Pantaenius with other officers who are looking for help and guidance on customs clearance, destinations, where to go at the end of the sailing season, you know, where the best refits yards are, you know, and just trying to optimise their options in terms of what they're going to do at the end of the season. Traditionally, the South Pacific is a cruising season from, you know, sometime late April through to the end of October. Cyclone season starts, you know, November 1, and most of the cruisers want to be out of the South Pacific, you know, by the time we get to the end of the cruising season, November 1. It's not to say they don't have cover. With us, they do have cover, but they're just not covered for a named tropical storm event. So, you know, the great bulk of them do choose to leave the South Pacific. Having said that, we're seeing a larger number of people who are coming in, particularly Europeans who have got larger boats. They might be super yachts, they might be large catamarans. And because the Suez Canal is basically closed, you know, those people have made a decision to stay in the Pacific maybe for a couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons. And we're seeing those people opt to leave their boats in places like Papeete, or maybe go up to the Marquesas or even the American Samoa, which of course are relatively safe or excluded from, you know, the effects of cyclones. So we're also seeing a larger group actually leave their boats permanently in the Pacific, and that's becoming quite an accepted thing to do. So in terms of blue water cruising, you know, we see nothing but a very positive outcome. We see the markets increasing. As a business, as an entity, Pantaenius is, you know, we insure the lion's share of that business, and we just do our best to provide, you know, the best service we can to those people. It's not just about insurance, it's about support, guidance, assistance, customs clearances, even talking to them about coming to Sydney for, you know, these are, you know, for New Year's Eve. You know, bring your boat to Sydney. You've always dreamt about watching New Year's Eve live from your own boat. Well, we can help you with berthing, you know, with additional insurance if it's required. contacts, relationships, and that's the sort of service we provide.
So new customers buying a vessel here at the boat show, we support them, we provide them with an insurance advice, where they can go, what is advisable, who can help them. We share our network with them. They usually stay in Australian waters for a while to explore the east coast of Australia. There's so much to see and so much to be explored. And then later they say, okay, now we want to take our boat further. The boat tells them usually it's ready to go. And then they explore how they can, what islands to go, what's the best time to travel, to read the winds, to make it a safe trip and journey to usually they start in Vanuatu, they sail into Vanuatu, then they go down to Fiji. Sometimes they go then also to Tahiti, but usually Tahiti, that route is usually taken when they come to the Panama Canal, then they go to Marquesas, Tahiti, like French Polynesia, and then into Fiji. But the Australians and New Zealand boat owners, they take their vessel to usually Fiji, Vanuatu to start with, and it's beautiful. For 6 months they're away, they meet so many like-minded people and liveaboards, families that cruise around, and it's a lovely atmosphere there when you run into those sailing families, and they all have beautiful stories to share. They help each other. They have big WhatsApp groups because Starlink now makes it all possible. They're all very well connected and help each other. And with Pantaenius, we are the only insurer in Australia who can offer the service to customers to take their boat offshore. Blue water sailing is our expertise. Yeah, look, we do a lot of stuff for the Australian boating industry. We give back. We are very loyal. Since we started here in 2012, we're very close to the grassroots programs. Let's say, for example, sailing. As one of our main events is the Sail Port Stephens regatta, always held in April in beautiful Port Stephens. I think we're up now to 170 participating boats. We started with this event 12 years ago. And we help the organizers and we're adding value. So we just hands-on, we run barbecues. I can't tell you how many sausages I have actually barbecued over these 12 years at that event. We just have support, we take the media out on the water, we help those sailing vessels to get on the water, and we're just there to give a hand. We have then we go to the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show. Again, we give back to our customers, we invite them to our stand, we talk about insurance, support them. Then we move to the Superyacht area where we support Superyacht Australia and go with them into the Pacific to see and meet our customers, and not just Australian and New Zealand customers. These are also international customers. They are insured through the Pantaenius Group. As most of you guys know, Pantaenius is a family-owned business from Germany, 125 years old, and we are part of this big family, and we have a lot of insured in the Pacific. We do, what else? Like Sydney Boat Show now at the moment. We have the team in the hall inside, lots of customers in there, which is beautiful, good vibe. Then we're going to Fiji to support again Superyacht Australia with an event, a rendezvous. But it's not Superyacht in this area, it's meeting yacht owners, monohulls, catamarans at all classes, looking for support, and they're so excited to see us. They can ask us all the questions they always wanted to ask the insurer. Perfect, and we have a lot of time to answer them. And soiree, we have the soiree. What else?
From a grassroots perspective, we support all sorts of different people. At the moment we're providing collateral and prizes to a range of different yacht clubs. This is our second year supporting the Returned Veterans and First Responders group here in Sydney, which is an event that's run the first Friday of every month out of the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club. And that's a group of returned service people that are struggling, to fit back into society, and the same with first responders. You're talking, first aid, ambulance officers, these sorts of people that have, experienced significant trauma, in their workplace, and they're part of the group as well. So we wholly sponsor that whole event, and this is our second year doing it, and we're going to keep doing that as well. We look for events where, maybe people are disabled and on the edge of the yachting industry, and we've just agreed going forward to sponsor an event called the Hansa World Championship, which is going to be held early next year here in Sydney on Pittwater, and that's a group of both able-bodied and also partially disabled sailors, and it's a worldwide group coming in. So we like to help the people that wouldn't normally get support from the traditional suppliers of sponsorships, particularly within boating, yachting, and anybody who wants to be actively involved in sailing, or whether it be power boating or just boating itself. So we're happy to help. We do continue to support the Amex and Superyacht group. This year was our 12th year supporting their conference, their annual conference at Sanctuary Cove. We're the principal supporters of the Amex Garden up at Sanctuary Cove, which is a garden that's available for the industry people. So we try and give as much love as we can to, both individuals and the industry itself. So we like to think that we give back a lot more than we take.